Welcome to the Futures Initiative podcast. My name is Lauren Melendez, Director of the CUNY Peer Leaders program and Academic Program Manager at the Futures Initiative, where we believe in a university worth fighting for. Today, we are going to talk about graduation and what comes next, from navigating the workforce to finding purpose, stability, growth beyond the degree. Our guests we have with us today are Simridhi Sharma, who goes by Simi, an undergrad at John Jay College, majoring in coding, network security, and digital forensics, and Christopher Arzu, who also goes by Chris, an undergrad and senior at Hunter College, majoring in political science and legal studies, who both are students at their home campuses and also in the CUNY Peer Leaders program, a humanities and social justice leadership program I direct at the Futures Initiative that is housed here at the CUNY Graduate Center. As graduation season approaches, you, our undergraduates, are on the edge of a major transition. In today's workforce, a moment filled with both excitement and uncertainty. Moving beyond college can take many paths. Starting a career, continuing your education, pursuing creative work, taking time to reset, navigating financial independence, or simply figuring out what comes next. Also, when we talk about career readiness, we're not just talking about getting a job. We're talking about a set of core skills like communication, teamwork, critical thinking, and leadership that help graduates navigate and grow in their careers. These are often referred to as competencies. These are outlined by organizations like NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers. When taking all these factors into account, Simi and Chris, what has motivated you to continue your studies in a climate like this?
For me, my motivation would have to come from just pushing myself forward and finishing what I started. That's the main part of where my motivation comes from, but also my father. He has always supported me going to college, and he wants to see me graduate with my bachelor's and master's, so I want to make him proud.
Got you. Are you first generation in your family?
Technically, yes. My older brother originally dropped out of Hofstra, so I had to step up and make sure someone at least could get something.
Got you. And Chris, how about you?
What motivates me is definitely my family was originally my main motivator, but now it's just my own passions to pursue law, and the ability to move up in the world and help and give back to the people who have given me so much, and my communities have given me so much. And I just want to do better and do more. So.
Got you. So let's just talk about like our current climate right now. So, currently statistics show that Gen Z, which you both are under, increasingly are building their own paths into the workforce. So rather than waiting for like a traditional 9 to 5, 21% have started a business or a side hustle to kickstart their career. Simi, I know you currently are a hairstylist, and Chris, I know that you were doing work with the New York State Attorney General's office. So, like, how do you both feel about, like, pursuing, your gigs and trying to work and, provide for yourselves, but then also, working toward your degree? Simi, you can start.
For me, I really had to find something out, what I wanted to do, like a hobby that I was really passionate about in order to make money. And a lot of that came from doing my own hair, actually. I started doing my own hair before I became a hairstylist, and I found joy in doing my own hair. And I was like, wait, I want to make other people feel that joy when they get their hair done. So that's how I pivoted towards doing hairstyling. And it's really hard to kind of balance my schedule with both because I'm on campus for John Jay almost Monday and Thursday, long days. Fridays, I'm with CPL, CUNY Peer Leadership, every other Friday, and then responsibilities at home. So I try to at least keep it balanced by getting some clients in like once a month, like at least 3 once a month. So it's at least balanced.
Got you. How about you, Chris?
during my college career, it's definitely been difficult finding a job. I didn't get a real one until my sophomore year, and that didn't work out so well because of extenuating circumstances. And for me, my experience was just always just applying, always constantly just looking for something until I found something, and that's how I ended up at the Attorney General's office. But beyond that, now I'm going back to my old ways where I am just applying, and just putting myself out there as much as I can, even to jobs that I may not seem qualified for. So,
Question for both of you. So, you're both enrolled full time at your respective campuses. How, like, when you say you're looking for work, is this part time work? Are you willing to take on full time work, or what does that look like right now for both of you?
I'm trying to look for part-time work, but if it is like fully asynchronous full-time, I will take it and work from home. I've had at least 300 plus applications on Indeed now, so.
Wow, impressive.
definitely for me, a full-time role until I decide to apply to law school and, matriculate next year. So.
Got you. Are you both responsible for like contributing to your households, or are you primarily just working to take care of yourselves?
It's kind of 50-50 for me. Since it's just me and my father, I try to contribute as much as I can, but he's really sweet and he's always telling me to focus on myself first and go put my education first. But whatever money that I try to get and I save up, I do try to contribute to household stuff.
Got you. How about you, Chris?
For me, it's I want to mostly support myself, but I have the responsibilities to take care of my household as well, so I will do anything that I need to fulfill both of those needs.
Okay, so a question. So how does both of you being in the CUNY Peer Leaders program and it being like a funded, leadership program, how has that been helpful to you in the times that you've been in the cohort? Because you both are returning fellows. So just share a little bit about that.
For me, being a part of CUNY Peer Leadership cohort was mainly for community and networking. The funding is very amazing. It does help me with my education. I have already used some of the funding that I've gotten towards my research for computer science and researching with AI on that. So without CUNY Peer Leadership, I would not be where I am today.
Got you, Simi. How about you, Chris?
Definitely, one of the few reasons I did apply to CUNY Peer Leaders originally as a sophomore was for the community, and like it reminded me of like an exclusive club that was just good for like the CUNY experience, and something like that at Hunter is very rare. And the funding was just icing on the top. It really helped out with books and anything that my refunds wouldn't cover. So.
Got you. I just want to share that, that was a lot of the motivation for, us starting CPL and just, being able to help, students that are in CUNY because, again, we know this is a commuter school. We know that the students have a million different jobs and roles and responsibilities. And, in this climate, funding is key. So I'm just glad that it's useful and that it's been able to be helpful to both of you. Okay, so what would you say has been the biggest obstacle you feel you faced once you graduate? Like, what will it be?
For me, I graduated Queensborough Community College last year, 2025. I feel like one of the biggest obstacles I faced is not being able to find a job with my associate's degree. I feel like I am well qualified for a lot of entry position roles, specifically for computer science or IT help desk or even interning. And the fact that I still haven't been able to land one internship or one IT job yet just says a lot about the post-graduation struggles.
How about you, Chris?
For me, wait, could you repeat the question again?
Sure. What's the biggest obstacle you feel you will face because you're graduating soon? So what do you feel is the biggest challenge you're going to be walking into?
The biggest challenge is definitely a declining job market. As Simi mentioned, things are for entry-level jobs. It's very hard to find an entry-level job without prior experience. And while I do have that prior experience in certain aspects, it seems like employers are expecting a lot more from graduates, so they wouldn't have to train them. And that's a little troubling, but I think with my experience in public service, I think I should be able to navigate that a little better than most other graduates. But, time will tell. And also just being a home caretaker is also an obstacle that is, interesting to navigate.
Gotcha. So my question next is, how did our meetups at CPL or like our enrichment outings that you've engaged in help you prepare for like the postgraduate world? Like your concerns that you just voiced, do you feel like there were things that we've done in the program that will help you navigate that space?
Absolutely. I feel like the program has helped me a lot with my confidence, especially when it comes to interviewing and talking in general to people. Before CUNY Peer Leadership, I usually kept to myself. I still like talking to people, but I wouldn't go out of my way. But after being a part of the program, I've noticed myself that I've changed and I've grown, and for the better.
Gotcha. How about you, Chris?
Definitely like the interviewing, networking things that we've done, and also or workshops that we've done, and then also like managing finances. Those things have definitely helped me become more of a responsible adult and prepare myself for future employment opportunities. So those are all great things.
Okay. Yes, and just to build on that, I think some of the meetups, like when we are trying to think about topics, we want them to be real world topics, Yes, the critical thinking and communication and teamwork and all these things are great, but, we want you to be able to have, financial literacy, that's something you're going to need like today, yesterday, and tomorrow, We're trying to, cover topics that are, yes, social justice, encompassing, but at the same time, just things that are going to help you in real life. So we've hoped we made an earnest effort in doing that. In addition to, the art and activism tours that we have went on and, the Frida Kahlo exhibits and just, a nice mixture of meetups. So what advice would you give someone starting college?
The first piece of advice I would give to someone starting college would be you have to focus and you cannot give up. There will be days where you don't feel like getting out of bed. There will be days where you question, is it really worth it going to college? And even if you answer no, force yourself to get out of bed, get ready, and still go to class. Sometimes your energy will get low. Sometimes you won't feel like studying is enough, even when you get your exam grades back. But the whole point is to keep pursuing it and keep working on it and never stop.
Okay, how about you, Chris?
I would say people like to say that you go to college to find yourself, and that you should explore like different opportunities and careers and this and that. But I think in order to be successful and come out the best you can, you have to come in with a plan, and you have to be able to execute that plan and plan far ahead, at least 5 years, because if you don't, there will be something that gets in your way that just shifts everything in a way that you may or may not be prepared for. So I think it's good to do your research. I think it's good to know the direction that you want to go. And I think just being overall just the most prepared that you could ever be, plan A through Z, that's the way how you succeed through college. Because college is not easy. Whether it be in a private institution or a public institution, it is not an easy thing. And people like to downplay. They like to assume that it's easy because like more and more people go to college now than ever before. But it is still not an easy endeavor.
Got you. So, question: when you talk about when you're giving these tips, to students who may be in high school and are about to embark into this next phase of college, what do you say? What advice would you give someone who is just struggling, like with the day-to-day things, as far as getting up on time, as far as being consistent with making it to class? Like, what tips would you give those students who are going to be in for like a crash learning of like, not being able to be out of class more than 3 times, not having someone hold your hand about your assignments, those types of things. What advice would you give those students?
Firstly, I would say get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Don't pull all-nighters. Don't stay up too late. Don't go out too late. Don't do any activities that would make you wake up even later in the morning. And you have to hold yourself accountable with your actions, because every action that you take, there will be a consequence for it. And so, for example, let's say you have class Friday morning, right? Don't go out on a Thursday night and go party. Go home, relax for a little, play a game maybe. Don't stress yourself out either. Because if you stress yourself out too much, you're going to not withhold any information that you're learning. So you have to really find a balance where you're happy, you're relaxed, you're at least studying 2 to 3 hours a day if you can, or at least 1 hour a day for whatever class that you have the next day. And just really be strategic with everything that you do in your schedule. And at the end of the day, also remember that your college education is going to set you for life. So take it seriously, but remember this is a learning experience and you can have fun when you're learning too.
How about you, Chris?
I would say, in the real world, there are a lot of responsibilities, and they will come at you fast. And high school, for me, mostly prepared me for that. But I would say, if you do tend to wake up late or this and that, just note that the best way to prepare yourself is just to take action now. Because if you don't have focus and you can't get up on time and go to class, it's detrimental to your future. So our 20s are important for developing, for setting ourselves up for the best of the best future later in our lives.
Gotcha. Those are awesome tips from both of you. So, what would you say in your time that you've been in college? What did you learn from your biggest obstacle that you encountered?
For me, my biggest obstacle, within my college years and currently as well, is don't get too caught up in other people's lives, business. Don't get too caught up in your friends, because when you're in college, you'll make a lot of friends. You will realize oh, maybe I should skip class. I should go hang out with my friends. Maybe we should go to the student lounge. Remember that you are there for your college education. Your friends will be there after your college is done. Yes, network, but don't take too much time out of your schedule to go spend time with other people while you're deliberately missing your class or you're not studying.
That's an awesome point. Chris?
Definitely for me, the best thing I've learned is that life is very complex. It's not linear. It isn't very as straightforward as people make it out to be. And the best way to navigate that is to just give it your all and try your best. And I guess something else I took from college is it teaches you how to be an adult. Because you have to navigate family, you have to navigate friends, you have to navigate your academics, your own personal life, your own personal values, and you come out of it stronger in the end.
Gotcha. So what will you take with you from CPL that you feel will help you in your next phase, post-graduation?
Staying grounded. CUNY Peer Leadership has taught me how to stay grounded within the present and how to go after what really matters in the long run. And that comes through the mental health workshops that we've done, that comes through the social justice workshops that we've done, that comes through all the art that we've seen and learned about. And there's more to everything. Right. When you have all this experience, you'll finally learn oh, maybe I shouldn't stress too much because there's so much to learn and enjoy about. And yeah.
Gotcha. What do you think, Chris?
Well, definitely for me, the friends and allies that I've made, I've learned so much from the CUNY community, and I've made a lot of connections, and definitely also just being able to communicate and talk with people that come from the same background or similar backgrounds and circumstances as me, and also speaking skills as well during when we do our showcases and everything, and we get to participate in that. Those are all things that will help me just communicate my thoughts and opinions in the future. So in future workspace or law school and beyond. So, yeah.
Gotcha. I think it's important to just, be mindful of the culture of care aspect of CPL, and just remembering that, if you're not well, mental health wise, if you're emotionally not, stable and grounded, it's going to be hard to excel in your studies and outward, So just remembering to practice self-care, take care of yourselves, and know when you're overwhelmed, know when you've had too much and where you may need to step back. That's going to be crucial as you navigate the new spaces, because you're going to be doing a lot of different things. And, it's not like it's just work or it's just school. You take care of people, outside of here besides yourself. You also, have a job, you're doing things. And so when we have these active, busy lives, we just have to remember to take care of ourselves. I think something else that is useful for undergrads, I remember being an undergrad at Lehman College and them telling us at like freshman orientation to like look to the left and look to the right of us, because 9 times out of 10 those people were not going to graduate, and they were telling us like, make sure that you're the person that does. And when I first heard it initially, I was like, it seemed a little extreme, but it was absolutely correct, because a lot of people that I met when I was a freshman did not graduate with me by the time I was a senior. And, the thing about undergrad is that you have people of all ages that can be in undergrad with you, So even you may have experienced in CPL, you have some people who are like Gen Z like you, but then you have people who are older, younger, and everything in between. That's the great thing I feel about the program, and that, you have students that come from across the 25 campuses and different backgrounds, different disciplines, different majors, and you can also sort of learn more about CUNY when you have different CUNY people in the room, you know what I mean? So I think just for undergrads to remember that you're on a journey, as Chris mentioned, it's not, might not be a straight path, you may have obstacles that come, but you just need to have a plan, and you need to be focused on just staying the course, even if you have to take a break, even if life happens, just, being true to what your goals are and just being steadfast in them, and, having resiliency and being able to really work through that, in times of trial. It'll take you far, Any last tips do you feel like you have for undergrads? Anything?
One last tip I would say to undergrads listening, or even high schoolers interested, is that remember that you're only going to be the current age that you are once. So you're only going to be 20 once. You're only going to be 21 once. As much as it is to study, to learn, to get your college degree, I feel like you should not forget to live a life that you want to live. So if you feel like, if there's an event happening on campus, or maybe there's like a concert happening on like a Friday night and you happen to be free, go out, go have fun, be responsible. And most and foremost is that remember what your goals are and what you want to do. Don't listen to anyone else, don't listen to other people's goals, and don't compare yourself either, because everyone's progress is different.
Gotcha. And Chris?
I would say appreciate what you have now, because things can change just like that in an instant, in any way, shape, or form, and you will not know how much it will change until it happens. So just and cherish your if you live with your parents and you have a good relationship with them, cherish that.
Gotcha.
If your finances are in order, keep them in order. So yeah. Thank
you both so much. So as we wrap up, I want to just congratulate the both of you. Simi, you graduated in 2025, from Queensborough and with your associates, and now you're at John Jay, and you're going to continue and you're going to get that degree. So I'm very proud of you. And Chris, you will also graduate soon. It's coming. This transition marks not just the end of your undergraduate journey, but the beginning of everything that comes next. You've navigated challenges, grown in ways you may not have expected, and built a foundation that will carry you forward. As you step into new opportunities, whether in careers, continued education, or paths still unfolding, within education, remember that your curiosity, resilience, and perspective are your greatest strengths. The world you're entering needs your ideas and your voices. Take pride in how far you have come and move forward with confidence in where you're going. And I like to encourage undergrads I work with to trust that their experiences, both inside and outside the classroom, have prepared them for meaningful ways, even if the path ahead is not fully clear yet. I want to remind both of you that you're obtaining more than a degree, and that you're leaving with a set of skills, relationships, and values that will continue to evolve over time. Thank you both, Simi and Chris, for joining us today. You can watch or listen to the Futures Initiative podcast on YouTube or on all podcast platforms. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.